Hey, it's hammer time.
Well, on today's episode of Hammer Time, we have my good friend, Representative Heather Carter, with us. Representative Carter, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Every major big ticket item, whether it's budget, healthcare, you name it, you're always in the middle of the resolution, and a positive resolution. Why is that the case?
When I ran for office, I said one thing I wanted to do was try to figure out solutions to problems that Arizona is facing, and we have faced a few problems in the last 8 years of my service, and I think my constituents want me to go to the Capitol, roll up my sleeves, and figure out how to move the idea and the good policies forward. And so that's what I try to do.
If there's a problem-solving caucus, I would consider you the dean of that delegation.
Oh, well, I consider that a tremendous honor, so thank you very much. But I will tell you, nobody does anything down at the Capitol as a party of one. So the first thing you have to do is establish positive working relationships with everybody serving, not only in the legislature, but with the executive branch, with staff, with external stakeholders, and make sure that you keep your constituents informed on what's happening.
Education right now, far and away the top issue for voters. What do you believe we need to do going forward? Because the work is never done in that area.
This session, we saw sort of the culmination of some pent-up concerns in the constituency around Arizona. When I first ran for office back in 2010, obviously people were talking about some pretty hot-button issues. But percolating amongst all of those issues was this concern for funding education. It was the Prop 100 year. And so we were able to implement a temporary 1-cent penny sales tax. And I think that sort of elevated the conversation around education funding in Arizona. And now we reached a point 8 years down the budgeting process where we have the resources and financial means in the state to start to restore some of our education funding. I think we really need to update the school funding formulas to represent the school system that we have in place in Arizona. And so that's one reason why I'm running for the Senate. My work is not done, and I hope that my constituents send me back there to keep working.
In terms of open enrollment,
Right.
the fact that so many kids are going to schools, public schools,
Right.
outside of their assigned district. Can you maybe talk a little bit about that feature in Arizona that doesn't really exist many other, if any other places?
That's absolutely correct. This just doesn't exist across the country. I think we need to be singing our praises in Arizona and really thanking our educational leaders across all of our different providers for saying, thank you for stepping up to the plate and giving so many opportunities for our Arizona kids. Our schools have, I think, risen to the occasion to meet the needs of the diverse student population we have in Arizona. If you are a stellar athlete, you may pick a particular school to participate in a sport. If you are interested in the arts, we have magnet programs for the arts. If you're interested in some career and technical education, one school may offer a program that would lead to direct career certification when you graduate from high school. These are all individual choices that now a child with their parent can make together. Where the system needs to be updated is in one critical place. A child cannot be worth different amounts of money based solely on the choice that that child and parent makes for their education. And that's what we see in the market today. So that's what we really have to kind of unpack, peel back the layers of that formula and rebuild it so that it doesn't matter what school you choose for your child, the same dollars would follow your child.
Our research team came up and unearthed that I believe that you've worked for the Suns and the Cardinals.
I worked for the Cardinals when they first moved to Arizona in the press box, and then I worked for the Phoenix Suns during the 1993 championship season.
Oh my
you know
God.
You're old when everybody that was on the team, their jersey is now retired and hanging around the stadium.
Well, I love, sports. The sports tourism industry is a very
Tremendous.
important part of
Absolutely.
getting the Super Bowls, the NCAA, and I just appreciate. I know that you've put a lot of time into making sure we have a vibrant tourism sector in this state, and to me, it's a gateway
Absolutely.
for people.
That's the spark that gets
Yeah.
people to Arizona. You just need to ignite that spark. And if you do it in March or February or January, people will stay. They will find a way to move their businesses to Arizona. Who wouldn't want to be here?
That's a great answer. Curious, favorite movie of all time?
It's kind of cheesy, but I am a huge George Strait fan, and I love Pure Country. Has anybody answered that question?
Pure Country?
With that, see, have you seen Pure Country?
I haven't.
It did not go straight to video. It was a blockbuster in the movie theater. It was my husband and I's first dance at our wedding. Put on some earbuds, listen to a little George Strait. You could take the stress down during the legislature. 10 points.
No, that's a great. I love his music, and this is why I asked the question, because I can't wait to watch the movie. Thank you for everything that you've done, for stepping up and really being someone that has worked extremely well with the business community, worked extremely well with your colleagues, worked extremely well with different administrations, and look at where we are right now in Arizona. I mean, it's knock on wood.
Yes.
This is the healthiest that I've seen this economy by a lot since I've been at the chamber.
And it's all about focusing on the priorities and figuring out how we move Arizona forward for the next generation. And I'm just honored to be able to be a part of that.
Thank you for your can-do attitude, and we look forward to working with you when you're in the state Senate.
Thank you.
Thank you.